Kashima Reiko is the ghost of a woman who lived in the city of Hokkaido, Japan. One night, she was attacked by bandits. They beat her, brutally abused her, and left her to die. She tried to call for help, but no one heard her. She tried to find someone to help her. She crawled to the railroad and lost consciousness. A train drove over it and cut it into two parts, separating the legs from the torso. Since then, the vengeful ghost of Kashima Reiko has been roaming the world in search of his missing legs. She is most often seen in school toilets, but she can also appear in the bathroom right at your house in the middle of the night. When you enter the bathroom or toilet, she will start asking you questions. If you can't answer her questions correctly, she will rip your legs off. If she asks, "Where are my legs?" the answer should be, "On the Maishan freeway." She will ask, "Who told you this?" You should answer, "Kashima Reiko told me about it." Sometimes she asks a tricky question. "Do you know my name?" Don't say Kashima or she will kill you. The correct answer is Death's Demon Mask. It is said that after you hear the story about Kashima Reiko, she will come to you within a month. The true origin of the legend is unknown to anyone, so there are several versions of the origin of Bloody Mary. Each state will tell you its own story of the origin of the mystical woman. This may be a witch who was burned for witchcraft in ancient times, or an inconspicuous young woman who died in a car accident today. Psychologist and legend collector Charlotte Benson claims that 90% of children in the age group from 7 to 15 years old are still convinced of the authenticity of the tales of the Bloody Measure and the Sweet Man. The birthplace of the story of Bloody Mary is considered to be the state of Pennsylvania, located in the northeast of the United States. The legend says that once in the depths of the forest, there was a tiny hut in which an old woman lived. The old woman collected medicinal herbs and then sold them. Many people living in the neighborhood thought she was a witch and nicknamed her Bloody Mary. Everyone was afraid of the old hag, and no one even dared to contradict her, because they believed that the old woman had witchcraft and could send pestilence on cattle, rot on supplies, fever on children, and also cause even more dangerous evil. Somehow, in the vicinity near the old woman's hut, little girls began to disappear one after another. Grief-stricken parents searched the neighborhood for their children, but there were no traces of the missing children anywhere. Not so many daredevils dared to go to the forest to the old woman, but she denied all the rumors and guesses about her involvement in the disappearance of children. However, this was not enough to convince the residents that the old woman was not involved, but there was also no evidence against her. However, the residents were confused by one fact. The old woman was transformed and began to look much younger. One fine night, the sound had some kind of mysterious magic, because only a girl could hear it. That same night, due to a terrible toothache, the miller's wife woke up while preparing a decoction for a toothache. She saw her daughter leaving the house. Frightened, the wife immediately woke the miller and rushed after her daughter. Having run out of the house in one underwear, the little boy and his wife tried to stop their daughter, but in vain. The insane screams of the parents woke up the neighbors. Many of the neighbors rushed to help desperate parents. Noticing a mysterious light at the edge of the forest, the millers suddenly cried out. Near the mighty ancient oak stood old Mary, pointing with her magic wand at the miller's house. The wand shone with a mysterious light, sending dark forces to the miller's daughter. The villagers, armed with sticks and pitchforks, rushed to the girl. Hearing the attack, the witch interrupted her sorcery and rushed into the thicket of the forest. However, one of the villagers had a gun with silver bullets, and he, using it, shot the witch in the leg. From unexpected and sharp pain, the woman fell. At that moment, the angry mob attacked the witch. A terrible fate awaited the prisoner. Having built a huge fire, the witch was burned. A little later, after Mary's death, the locals went to the old woman's hut. Near the house, there were several graves with missing girls. The witch killed girls for the sake of blood, which she then used to rejuvenate, burning at the stake. Mary screamed a curse that promised a terrible death to anyone who ever mentioned the old woman's name in front of a mirror. Since then, anyone who dares to call on the evil spirit of the witch, saying the words Bloody Mary 3 times in front of the mirror, will incur a terrible death, and the souls of those who have called will be sealed in the mirror and blaze with hellish flames like Mary herself. There is a possibility that the Pennsylvanian legend has earlier English roots. One of the daughters of Henry VII, Queen of England Mary the First Tudor 1516 to 1558, was famous for her extraordinary cruelty, which is why the people received the nickname Bloody Mary. Being an ardent Catholic, during the 5 years of her reign, more than 300 people were burned at the stake, of which the majority were Protestants. Among her victims was Archbishop Cranmer. There were rumors among the people that the Queen, using the blood of Protestant girls, tried to prolong her youth. A woman accused of killing her children in 1986. This woman even had a chapter titled, I Believe in Mary Worth, dedicated to her. This chapter was written by Ian Harold Brunvand, who was famous for popularizing the term urban legends. However, a few years before the creation of the chapter, folklorist Jana Langlo published an article also dedicated to Bloody Mary. The article said that the students of the Catholic seminary told about a spirit named Mary Wales. The girl seemed to have died from blood loss because her face was torn to pieces. According to the cinema, the brutally murdered Mary Worthington, whose eyes were gouged out by the killer, is Bloody Mary dying. A mirror stood in front of the woman, in which, after death, her spirit moved. Before dying, the woman tried to write the name of the killer on the wall, but her strength left her too quickly. So without having time to write a name, the woman took with her the secret of her murder. Wherever there is a mirror, Mary is always inseparable from him and kills everyone who dares to disturb her peace. If you still dare to call Bloody Mary, it is worth remembering that every legend or fairy tale has its own true side. The ritual of summoning Bloody Mary is somewhat similar to summoning the Queen of Spades to meet Mary. You need to light a candle in the bathroom at night, closing the door behind you. Looking directly into the mirror, say the words Bloody Mary. Come to me 3 times. After the spoken words, Mary will be behind your left shoulder. When you notice Mary, any actions are already useless. She can kill you, scratch your eyes, drag you through the looking glass and also drive you crazy. If the whole ceremony was carried out as indicated and Bloody Mary did not appear, do not rush. After all, there is a possibility that you will meet with Bloody Mary when you most do not expect it.